Okay. Okay. So this is part two. So we have the modal scale key of cage pattern stack. We have the bar chords pattern stack. What's the difference? There is a big difference. And then we have the double 7L double stack, the 7L double stack. Why do we have these three stacks here? We just want one. Believe me, we want one. Okay? I got a yawn. It's just a stretch. It's kind of a stretch here. Um, and then what else we have over here? Okay, I have the name of the chart, by the way. This is just some of these titles brought over here. Down here I have a little sign here that says all patterns unwarped. P4 tuned like a bass guitar. In other words, a bass guitar, let's say, is a 4-string guitar, but there's 5 string. The bottom 4 strings of a bass guitar are P4 tuned. The bottom 4 strings of a normal guitar are P4 tuned. There's a perfect fourth. P4 is perfect. Okay, the 4 stands for a fourth. E, A, D string, G string. Okay? So that is what P4 tuning is. Just the bottom 4. You can make the E shape there. You can do the C, the bottom of the C. You can do the bottom of the G. It's kind of a bass string, right? What else? Well, the D wasn't. I don't know about the D because down there, most of what's happening with the D is up here, and the last shape is the A shape. So the A shape we could only really go starting from the A string. We get the bottom of the top, the bottom 2/3 of the A chord. Here's the A chord. Okay, but if that goes to the 5th string, I call it the 5th string because I count strings from the bottom. So the bass string here, lowest note on the fretboard, is string number 1. Excuse me. Will you guys stop fluffing up so much dust? My audience back there. Okay, so the A is going to be different shape because of this warp. So why can't we just take this E shape and move it up? Because it'll be a minor because of the warp. Alright, so you see how this, we want to play an A major, but we want to play it just a 4th up or 1 string from the E, right? There's your E shape. I'm going to lift it up and try to play an A shape. Oh no, string number 5 is 1 string flat because when we tuned it, it's only a 1/3 between the G string and the B string is only a 1/3. So in our shape for the E string, all right, the top string of it, the A chord, the key of caged A chords, key of A, okay, has sharps. My fingers are on them, okay. My pinky right there is on a black note right there. It's above the white one, okay. So we're in the key of A. Of course, because it's an A flat instrument, it would actually be the key of F, but it's labeled as an A. So for that particular 3rd, because it is in 2nd inversion. Okay. As is the E. As is the E. When you play an open E here, That's third inversion. A second inversion, rather. There's a third position, which is second inversion. The first inversion is second position. Okay, the first position is root. So that I'm trying to explain to you what the warp is. So we can't just bring this up to here. We have to play one fret up on the fifth and on the fifth and the sixth string. Now it just happens on the fifth string, and then you resume the same interval from the sixth string. But essentially everything from there is played. Also, the sixth string is also played a half up, but not a half up from a half up, just a half up from where it should be if it was all P4 tuning. That's important to remember. The sixth string doesn't get warped up a whole note, and the fifth string warped up a half a note. They both get warped up a half a note. Okay? So all patterns unwarped P4 tuning like a bass guitar. Notice there's no strings here. Okay, there's strings here, but this is kind of just for show, but it isn't. There's strings here, and that is pertinent to the idea that's happening. But there's 7 strings here, and there's only 6 strings in the guitar, because I want to stress that, or I want to stress now, in looking at this diagram, I didn't draw 7 strings to stress that, hey, you can start this pattern anywhere. Okay? The reason why it stacks up like that is because we're not going horizontal with it. Okay, you can always go horizontal. If I had a 1-string guitar, all right, it would be something like if we started. Well, I guess we don't have a C string here, so a 1-string guitar would be like. All right, so but we start pushing that onto the other strings. You push it down, it stacks up like that. Okay, if if we push it down to something shorter, it's going to stack up even further, right? So that our in this particular diagram, because it says for bar chords, see how R has a 7 there? We can just get that 7 if we're doing a solo. Okay, we can just once you take the bar off, but you're going to maintain that area of the guitar. You can just reach down and get that 7. In key of cage, you really can't do that. All right, and I'll show you what I mean. All right, so we get the drawing tool. Let's say we're looking at this S3S here. All right, the S3S is. I want to raise this up just a little bit. All right, we've got both. I'm going to talk about this guy. Here's the S3S. This actually is the S3S. And I'm going to make a line here, and we're going to do line width be about 12 pixels. All right, and color is going to be green. Here's a root. Here's a root. Here's a root. And we're talking about being able to reach that 7, but let's pretend now that we want to do here's the root we want to talk about. Let's pretend that this is the fret nut. The fret nut. It's supposed to be all sorts of weird bells and whistles going off. Here it is. Whoop, whoop, whoop. The fret nut. You can't play below it unless you want to do Tinkerbell.